Hello, everybody, including those lost and now found. You are in the right place. Good to see you, Lost Shire Hobbit. Glad you made it. Glad you found it. So yeah, you might notice that today I've got a little bit different of a background. I'm changing things up. So this is where I'm sitting for the moment. We'll see if I like it like this or if it changes again for next week. Every day, every time is a new adventure. Hello, Sandy. Good to see you in the chat there. So let's see. I'm getting myself logged in. I was over on Treebeard and was like, oh, right, I got to switch over to Laurelin. And then I started to do it, and then I didn't actually finish doing it. So here we go. Yeah, things have been a little chaotic around here. So those of you regulars may have noticed, yeah, we weren't on last week. So it was one of those culminations of like our back door was having problems. So we had gone and we're like, hey, we need a new back door. So we had made arrangements to get a new door, which then basically included redoing the whole bank of door window set, which was fine. It's great. And then we were like, also we've been getting some water in the house. So we were trying to figure out where that was coming from. We've been trying to figure that out for a couple years. So we've been through the whole, it's not the roof. We thought it was the roof, but then we got the roof redone, and so it's not the roof. And so then it was like, okay, well, what is it? So now we think it's the bricks on the wall, because it tends to only happen when it's really windy and really rainy at the same time. Like, okay, so we think it's the bricks. So we had the bricks redone. We had actually contacted somebody about getting that done. So then, yeah, last week is when everybody's like, yes, we can come. It's like, okay. So last week was a bit of a whirlwind around here, and the furniture has been moved, I don't know, like 4 or 5 times in the last week and a half to accommodate people coming and going and where they needed to be and all the things. Yes, house. And it wasn't, yeah, I guess it is house renovations. Fair point. Patty McGinty says, house renovations, I know the feeling. And I'm like, it's not house renovations, but yeah, you're right, it is house renovations. So it's, yeah, it's been a little chaotic. And before points out, don't forget the discounted planters, which I was just staring at. So somebody we know here in the village is moving. She and her husband are moving from a house into an apartment, so they've got less room, of course. And so they have like those big planters that stand like high up off the ground, and they're full of dirt and water and plants, most of them. And she's getting rid of them, and she was doing it for like €50 each, 50 to 60. And we're like, well, that's a heck of a deal to get a planter that's got all the stuff in it, and you know, it's already like got stuff growing in it. So yeah, I was like, well, I kind of do want those. So we started getting those about a week and a half ago, maybe almost 2 weeks ago now. And like every day before, we'd go over with a hand truck, you know, a hand dolly, and like lift one up and roll it over to our house, because it's like within half a mile of our house, like quarter mile from our house. And so he was walking back and forth with that, and I got on my little 3-wheeler bike, and we loaded the lightest stuff in the back, because I have a big basket in the back. And then like we'd drop stuff off, and we'd put like the dolly on mine, and I'd ride it back over while he walked over, and so we kept walking back and forth across town, so that was really funny. So we did that for numerous days in a row. And funny thing is, so at first there was like 8 of them, and then as we got going, she was like, actually, do you want to buy these? Do you want to buy these? Do you want to buy these? So by the end of it, we ended up with like 20 that we think we bought off of her. So funny thing is, we don't exactly know where we're going to put them all. So we kind of just stashed them out back, and that happened to be partly in the way of where the door people needed to be. So then those had to get moved, and yeah. It's like, you know, that game where you've got to like move this in order to move that, to move that, to move this, to move that. It's been one of those games. But it's been fine. It's been good. Like, there's no more wind coming through our back door, so that's very exciting. And the new doors are great. Like, we can move them all over. Not Tetris, Lost Shire Hobbit. Like, when I was a kid, I used to have a little game. It was flat, and it had like little tiles of it. It had like 4 by 4. and it had one space that was empty, and you had the numbers out of order, and you had to get them in the right order, or it was a picture, and it was all scrambled up, and you had to move things around to get it in the right order, and you had like one open spot, and so you had to move something over to here, and now that's an open spot. So then you move that, move it there, and now that's an open spot. So I don't even know if that game has a name. I don't know, puzzle. Yeah, it's some sort of a puzzle game that I used to have as a kid. So yeah. I know. I think lots of kids had them. Rush Hour. No, that's a board game. It wasn't like that though.
But you gotta move things to move.
I mean, yes. Okay, Rush Hour. Yeah, this game that he's posted the link to. You have to move things, move things. But no, it was like a 4x4 grid, and each piece was only a one spot. It was like a 1x1.
Oh, was it the 15 puzzle?
Maybe. He's gonna look it up. So here's the funny thing is now I was like here and before was here, so like we were next to each other and I would talk to him across here. Well, now I've like rotated myself, so like he's over here now, and it's really funny. So it's like I've changed everything. Yeah, like that, like what that 15 puzzle. That's it. And sometimes it was a picture, and sometimes it was the numbers, and yeah, little sliding puzzle. So that's what our like household kind of reminds me of right now. So all right, so what I thought we would do is here, let me remove these. So in case you didn't know this, when you have all your quests over on the side there, you can right click on one of the little rings and it gives you a menu. And one of the things on this menu is remove all. So I could do that, and like all my quests have been unchecked, which is kind of handy if you're like, hey, I wanna start over, fill these spots anew. So I'm gonna do that. And let's see, did I just check the boxes? I think I did that while I was like not paying attention. So we have these ingredient crates here. So that's something to keep an eye out for if you have not yet found where to get involved with these. They look like crates. They're just really cute little crates. And what they do is they provide you with universal crafting ingredients. So, for example, you see how I have like all these different ingredients I would need if I was to make this particular item. But you see there's a checkbox here. It says ingredients, and there's a checkbox that says use universal ingredient. If I check that, it uses those things I just pulled out of the crate. In this case, it would use 3 of them. I have 3,000, so I think I would be fine. But it does remind you that items crafted with ingredient packs, in this case like this, will be bound to your account upon creation. So if I were making food for other people, not my characters, but other people like Affodil, I would be not able to do that because I can't give away any of this stuff to anybody who's outside my account. I can put it in my shared storage and give it to my other characters, but I can't give it to somebody else. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. But man, it makes it so cheap to make things, and it's really handy. So every day I pop in, I make sure I check the ingredient crates. There's one that's a regular one, excuse me, and it comes with 3, and it has a 22-hour cooldown, and the other one also has a 22-hour cooldown, and it gives you 6 of those universal ingredients. But the one that gives you 6 is only available to subscribers, so VIP, lifetime, whatever. So yeah, that's a really handy little thing, so keep an eye out for those. All right, so what I thought we would do, are you actually fishing? You have an invisible fishing rod. Oh, there it is. Oh, that was funny. Very nice. Affodil had the cosmetic stuff hidden, so that's why it's not showing up. That is really wild. Invisible. Anyway, okay, so I thought what we would do is I have a bunch of quests for Goblin Town. Oh, hold on, I gotta go talk to Wenda. Apparently I haven't been around for a while. It's been busy. I think I mentioned this. All right, so we're gonna scoot over here. Oh, I thought I saw Aaron Bard. Hello, Aaron Bard. I did not say hello to you, sorry. Got distracted by other things. Okay, so I'm gonna pop over here and say hi to Wenda Cranesbell. She is the VIP rewards person. So if you are a subscriber of some sort, you want to talk to her. And what she does is she gives you this quest, and you accept it, and then you talk to her again, and you turn it in. And what she gives you are these two things right here. My inventory's a little full. These two items right here. Oh, I forgot to put my phone on quiet. Pardon me for just a moment. Let me shush you a little bit. Thank you. Anyway, so the subscribers jug and the subscriber town services. And it lasts for 14 days. So you only need to talk to her once every 14 days, but it's definitely worth your time. So I'm going to click on the subscribers jug, and it's a little weird. It took us a little while to figure out what the thing did at first, because it says it accelerates crafting time and prevents item wear from combat crafting and defeat. I'm like, okay, that's pretty straightforward, and that's really awesome. So when I'm crafting, instead of going clunk, clunk, it's like it's really fast. It's fantastic. And then also when you're out and about and you're, doing any crafting, or you're doing any, attacking in the world or whatever, or you get defeated, a lot of times in that situation, your items over time will take damage. Well, with this, they don't take any damage. So I never have to repair my stuff, except if I forget and let this wear off. Now it says, let me pull that back over here, and you might not be able to read it. It might be a little small, but what it says is duration 14 days, cooldown 10 minutes, item expires in 6 hours, basically 5 hours and 59 minutes. You're like, well, it expires in 6 hours, but it lasts for 14 days? I don't understand. That didn't make sense. So what you do is you go ahead and you use it, and it applies the buff to you. That buff lasts for 14 days. The jug itself stays in your inventory for 6 hours, and then it goes away. But the effect stays on you that whole time. So that's what it is. Now, you can just throw the jug out any old time you want. That's what Affidel does. Affidel will use it and then drag it off and get rid of it. I end up leaving it in my inventory because, I have 6 hours. I can keep renewing it, and it resets that 14 days. So sometimes I do that. And then the other thing that she gives you is the subscriber town services. When you click on that, it opens up this menu of things, which includes browsing the shop, opening your vault, shared storage, or the wardrobe, opening the auction house, or opening the legendary item forge. Yeah, I was just checking to make sure I did actually forge my stuff. So, so that's really handy because you can do that from anywhere in the world, and that's really neat. So, okay. So we've done that. I'm going to open my Hobbit gifts because they're sitting around. So I got a scroll of max morale and power, and 100 points of virtue experience, and 10 medallions, and 200 virtue experience. Well, that's nice. So I happen to be on a difficulty level, I think, or at least I was. We'll double check that. It doesn't show up when you're in an instance, and being in housing counts as an instance. So we're gonna get out of here. Let me take us to the Misty Mountains, unless you have somewhere you need to go. Okay, hearing nothing, we will go to the Misty Mountains. Cool. Because I want to go to Goblin Town. I have a bunch of quests that are involving Goblin Town, so I want to get these out of the way. And Affidel knows the way. So I think we have to go to... Do we go this way? Oh, okay, we just ride out. I wasn't sure if we needed to go to another stable master, because... so we're here. We just came in over here on the... Over on that side over there. And we're riding north. There's a campsite fire there. I think that's where we're going. Yeah, the mountain's throat. That sounds right. I think that's where we're going. Cool. The other thing I was thinking is we'd end up going over to Vendor Hall, but we don't need to do that. Oh yeah, okay, so I'm on difficulty 3 on this server, which means I get more experience for monster kills, but that's moot because I'm at 150, which is the cap level. I also get plus 20%, bonus virtue experience when I earn virtue experience. So that's why I'm waiting to use these potions. So this one's 200. I just got 200 plus a bonus 10. And that one is 53, and then I got a bonus, 50, and I got a bonus 3. That one's 100, so I got a bonus 5, and so on. So that's why I just wait until I'm not in an instance, because then I get extra. And it's worth it to me. Also, I have a bunch of piles of money that I want to convert to money. I know this sounds funny. It makes sense, though. I don't know if I want that. Well, we definitely need to keep that, and we keep that. Okay. Zoomp. Lost Shire says, I will never stop saying how much the VIP owned services saves me when I'm in the middle of nowhere. No, right? I love it. Like just now, I just went in and I'm like, oh, I'm going to sell some stuff. I didn't have to worry about it. I didn't have to think about it. I just did it. And it's awesome. Hello, Gloin. So there's a campsite fire here, which is a hunter travel fire. I currently have mine set to Harlog. I think I can drop that and make this one, yeah? Are you good with that? Is that my campfire here? Okay. So we'll mark that here. So now we can just travel back here really easy. It's so fantastic. Did you pick up the quest from Gloin?
I got the 2 that are double.
All right. Oh, the missing scout. Find him within Goblin Town. Okay. Yep, that is. Distant relations.
You have come at
What?
a most fortuitous time.
Goblins at the gate. Sorry, not that one then. Okay, so goblins at the gate is the other one. Find goblins, defeat goblins in and around Goblin Town, discover the main gate into Goblin Town. Okay. And then I also have Passage to Darkness. Let me see if I can share this. So she'll get credit for that. And then I also have, let's see, Ballad of Bingo Boffin. I can't share this one with you, but I need to find one of the entrances to Goblin Town. And then, is it in the epic? No, where is it? Yes. I need to, there's an elf, Marilos. She's asked me to journey into Goblin Town and reclaim a handful of coveted gems. I can't share that. I could try, but no, I can't share it with you. There's a prerequisite for that. And then there was also, I believe Bilbo sent me here, but I don't remember where to find that one. Is it this one? Nope, that's a horn thing. That's Gundabad. Missions. Wait, missing scout. Passage into Darkness. Oh, yeah, this is the one. I'm sorry. Passage into Darkness is the one from Bilbo. Cool. He described the location, advised you to use his description to find the hidden entrance into Goblin Town that he and the dwarves of Thorn's company once came across on their journeys long ago. And he'd like you to help him correct the directions to Goblin Town that he has written in his book. So, yeah. Okay. So I have 5 at least quests here in Goblin Town to do. So in we go. Off we go. Yeehaw. Istako says, VIP services are awesome. I played the game for 3 days and became a VIP. Right. I think I played for a little longer than 3 days, but I can say that I got to a point where I was just like, oh my gosh, I need to be VIP. This is driving me crazy. So, yeah. That worked out great. Oh, we have to find the hidden entrance. Okay, so we're in Goblin Town now. And let me show you a map. So this is what we know so far, is here, and then we've got this shown, because we came into it from possibly the instance counted that part. Oh, hey, we're defeating goblins. Hooray. What? Oh, yeah. So Avadil is saying that it's easier to find the hidden entrance from inside Goblin Town than from outside. So we're doing that. Oh, I need to find, well, you know where to find that stuff, right? The buttons? We should do the buttons while we're here. Okay. So when Bilbo was here, he, he lost some buttons as he was trying to escape, and they've kind of gotten spread out through Goblin Town. So there's a deed to find all of his buttons. Some of his buttons you find on some of the goblins, and then some of the buttons are in like piles. Hang on. What about this guy? I found a map of the mountain tunnels on this dead dour hand. That's for an author absent. That is for my bingo boffin on this server. So I need to bring that map out to Spalvey, but I don't need to do that right now. So I'm going to move that from watching, keeping an eye on it. Cool. Yay, one done. Loshire says, it took me a while before I dipped my toe in it. Don't regret it at all. Getting VIP? Yeah. And Reef Citizen says, a gazillion years. I wondered if buying the Lifetime Edition would be worth it. It was. Are you talking about, like, you got the Lifetime for, like, $200 or $300 back in the day? Because if so, I am quite jealous of you. I too wish I had known that it was a thing. Oh, this is the back door. Okay, so we're gonna go out here. Now we're out in the wilderness. Let's see. Okay, now I need to talk to Bilbo back at Rivendell at some point. Do we need to go and talk to him now? No, let's do some more gems.
Well, let's go talk to Gloy.
Oh, okay, sure. I'll take us to Gloin.
In case.
Well, I don't have anything completed.
At the gate.
I need to discover the main gate into Goblin Town still.
I'll wait there. Just take it back to Gloy.
Take us to Gloin? Okay. All right, let me teleport us back to that campsite. So we're like over here, although strangely there's still a ring there. And I'm gonna bring us back over here. So, Reef Citizen, yes, that one. Oh, you are so lucky. That is super awesome. Congratulations to you for having that. Hey, I discovered the main gate. Hey, Gloin, I discovered this thing like right there. So many goblins. He says, you can say that there were more than enough for your blades, and I have no reason to doubt your words. All right, we must investigate further, he wants. So, order from the darkness. Search for orders among the goblins. Okay, we'll go see if the goblins know anything or have anything on their persons. So, hey, Reef Citizen, that means you have the 11sies emote, which I think is pretty awesome, because not everybody has that. I certainly don't. Now, Affodil, also known as B4, started playing back at the beginning, and so he does have the 11sies emote, but there was a big gap during which he did not play. So he, yeah, he didn't buy the Lifetime at the time, so. I know, right? One of those where you go, ooh, I wish I could go back in time and be like, hey, me, that'd be a thing to have. I have collected coveted gems that I needed, so I can turn that back in. Oh, I found a sheaf of nasty-looking papers on the corpse of a goblin. Hey, there's a debris pile here. No, there's not. So this is one where if you're running around in a party, you want to make sure that you just kind of pause, because it will disappear as each person in your party goes and interacts with it. And you just wait and make sure that the next person has a chance. So that bestowed Bilbo's buttons on me. It's a deed. So I need to find all of the different buttons. There's a stained one, tarnished, polished, scratched, bent, shiny, broken, and blackened. And yeah, so like I said, some of those are on the goblins. Are carrying them with them. Because, you know, it's a shiny, why not? And then some things have ended up in piles, so you kind of have to pay attention. Now, B4's over there looking at a fantastic map of Goblin Town. Hey, you have a bent button now. Awesome. Thank you. Affodil just likes to scream at things. I'm like, that's cool. I'll just, you know, I'll just follow. I'm totally down. Oh, we didn't go the way that we wanted to go, though. So we're gonna. Oh, I gotta talk to Gloin outside his camp from Order from Darkness, but. But we do need to talk to somebody named Egglas. Egglas. So we'll go talk to that person first. And then we'll go back out and talk to Gloin. Now, also, I could go back and... Hang on, rubber band and a smidge there. My computer and the server were not in sync. So I think it's caught up now. Yeah, just about. It's just about caught up. Yes, Locho person number 3, right? Like, getting some of their names, sometimes I'm like, well, and it's also because we are in the Netherlands, and so we've been learning Dutch, and so the way vowels are used in Dutch and the way they're used in English aren't necessarily the same. So you see, like an OO, like if I say a double letter together, I automatically want to make it that long sound. Like, you know, you see an OO together and I want to go foot or boot, or, you know, I want to make it together. Or an EE and I want to make it feet. And yeah, double O has a very different sound. It's, yeah, it's like an O, like boat. B-O-O-T, boat. Not boot, boat. So, yeah. So sometimes I'm trying to read a name in Lotro, especially the elf names. And I start making it Dutch. I'm like, wait, is that right or is that not right? Because Old English and Dutch do share some vowel sounds, but not always. And so, yeah, it's always a crapshoot whether I get it right or not. So, Hoboland Academy says, and I especially love to see a fellow Laurelinian. Excellent. Well, hello, yes. Our main server, myself and Affodil, is generally Treebeard, but we do find ourselves questing a lot on Laurelin these days. Are we going in? Slave pens. Okay, sounds like we're going in. So yeah, so I, oops, hey, that's a, oh, apparently we are doing that on purpose. Okay. I do appreciate our ability to just fall down things and survive. That's neat. Oh, don't kill everything. Oh. Oh, right, we do need some people on our way back out. See, I'm just doing my hunter thing. Hey, we found the missing scout. I thank you and Master Elrond for your concern. I am in no imminent danger. The goblins are strong foes, but not so strong I cannot leave this place. Yet there is much that we may do together. Hang on, let me grab their other.
Why don't you spare a moment of your time?
There are prisoners in this place other than I, and of them I would know more. So one's an elf maiden, and the other one is a goblin. So he wants us to go and have a chitty chat. So we gotta go talk to 2 people here in cages in other places in Goblin Town. I don't think they're right here. Oh yeah, one of them is. Aha! Right next to us. Oh yeah, this is the goblin. And he says, other prisoners. He says, stop looking at me, Hobbit. You've been killing goblins all through Goblin Town. I'm in enough trouble as it is to dig a deeper hole for myself. Unless maybe you help me. Let's see. He wants out of this prison. He says, I don't belong here locked up. If I will help you drive out the nasty orcs if you help me. I need the key to this cell. Look for the jailers. Kill them. Take their keys. Okay. So we need to go find the jailers that I was just defeating. Oh, and... That's why we weren't killing them all. Oh, and the other person we need to talk to is upstairs. Okay, so I need to find a jailer. Now I can take them all out. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, so Hobbit? Yeah, we're on Laurelin a lot. It's where I really enjoy doing the Hobbit role-playing. And so this is my main character on here. And basically what happened is they kept putting cool stuff on the reward track that I wanted. So I was like, hey, honey, can you help me get make progress on the reward track over on Laurelin? And so, yeah, he's been really awesome about helping me out and questing with me over here and stuff. So yeah, we're doing more time on here than we were previously, but that's fine. Oh, and there's a stalker. All right, cool. Let's see. So Epic Games TV says hello, or morning. Good morning, although it is afternoon heading into evening for us. We just hit evening, I hear. Hang on, let me look for another jailer. And then Aaron Bart has a question. So let's take a look at that. So let me find a jailer. All right. Apparently he's right behind me. Or upstairs. Okay. All right. All right, honey, I need your assistance in getting us back upstairs. Because I don't remember how we get around here. Thank you. Poe was trying to tell me that it's German. Yeah, your name explanation got deleted by Moobot automatically. Sorry, don't know why. It sounds like, oh, probably because the umlaut. I don't know why the umlaut is a problem. Oh, you know what? Probably why is because, and Aaron, we'll come back to you. Sorry. They have requested that it's only English in the chat here, in the official chat, because we don't have moderators for every language. But we do have moderators that speak English. So if somebody's like being obnoxious in English, we know it. If somebody's being obnoxious in another language, we might not necessarily know it. So anyway, we found the elf, and we're to let her know, blah, blah, blah. She's here, and she has knowledge and things. So we will take that knowledge and sting back there. So Poe, but I don't know how to pronounce P-O umlaut. So, anyway, so let's see. Epic Games says it's 9:01 right now, and joining your morning cup of Java. Okay, so Aaron Bart. Oh wow, all of your stuff got striked out there, Poe. That's so weird. Okay, Aaron Bart asks question: are they changing up emote availability? I had an extra gold pan emote from the treasure event. Went to give it to my river hobbit. Said I already had it, but went to look for it in the emote chart. It was no longer there. Oh, weird. I would say that's a bug, and you probably want to put in a bug report on that, because you should be able to give that to your river hobbit, and if it's saying your river hobbit already has it, then it should be there and usable by your river hobbit. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna say that's a bug, and definitely worth putting in a ticket for that. I'm gonna click some more keys here. Oh, whoops, you're not done reading that thing. Okay. I just was shooting things. Oh, we can go back down? We still need, okay, you think we're gonna find some keys on the way? Might be some jailers on the way that I haven't murderated. Yes, that's true. They might have replacements that have shown up. That's good. You know, they're very efficient about that. Why is there no jailer here? Send a replacement. Epic Games says 1 week until spring. Yeah, the weather has definitely turned here. Oh, well, until Spring Festival too. That's even more fun, actually. Oh, they changed the date though. I thought it went further out. Hang on, I put the date in here. Spring Festival, it was the 7th, which would have been in 2 days from now or whatever. But now it's the 12th. So I bought a LOTRO calendar, not a LOTRO calendar, I bought a Lord of the Rings calendar, and I put it on the wall, and then I realized that I wasn't paying attention, and I bought a 2023 calendar. So the days of the week are all wrong on my calendar. So anyway, I gotta buy a 24 calendar, but I was waiting to do something else, and so I'll probably put an order in tomorrow, and if it's still there, I'll get a 2024 calendar. And that will be a little bit more useful for telling the days of the week. So yes, it is the 12th, is what they said in the updated information. So yes, Loshire did point out, just wait until the clocks go forward next week. Oh, you haven't gone forward yet? I know we go forward at the very end of March here, like the 31st or whatever, like Easter, you know. We go forward on Easter, I think it is. Right, yeah, spring forward, yeah. So we're going to be 1 hour less apart for a few weeks, because you guys are going to leap forward first, and then we catch up. Are we just jumping down? I do have all the keys. Thank you. Are you just gonna fall down? Okay, I'll just follow you. Look away. Oh, did we get ourselves trapped?
No.
Ah! Hooray. So yeah, I think the US clocks go change this coming weekend. All right, so we got this guy. We don't have the keys though. He's annoyed. Go find the keys. He thinks the drummers have them. And then this guy, he's like, hey, people don't need to worry about me. I'll be fine. Watch out about the goblin. Collect a sharp post. I got an idea. Okay. I'm summarizing so you guys can like actually get the flavor text when you come and do this yourselves. Because you will totally come back. Oh, it's glowing o'clock. Sweet. Off to glowing. Ready? Okay. Aaron Bart says, I wish we could adopt Tolkien's Hobbit calendar. Much more sensible. So yes, it's gotten warmer here, which is really wild. Hang on a second. Let me turn this in. Wargs. And something I don't want. That's fine. Go defeat some wargs, because wargs are a problem. Okay. Let's go talk to Bilbo real quick, just in case he's got a follow-on. I can't remember if he does or not. So we're going to go talk to Bilbo. Oh, he might send us off to Gollum's Cave. That's true. So yeah, we're going to go talk to Bilbo back in Rivendell. Oh yeah, so it's been like around freezing, but just above and occasionally just below lately around here. Of late. No, well, hot. Like through, I don't know, maybe December, January, February. And it was wet, like rainy, but cold. So it was cold and rainy, which I didn't like. So I basically like put a cover over my bicycle and I just took the bus everywhere. It was like, I'm not even gonna get on my bike and be cold and wet. I don't want to do that. So I was being all whiny about it. So my bike stayed covered up until probably like 2 weeks ago when we started getting those planters from the neighbor. And so I was using my bike to go back and forth. So, and I've left it mostly uncovered since then. So,
How do you
all
do?
right, you found it. We found the doorstep quite by accident. We were camping there, taking refuge from a storm and some wayward boulders. The giants were out playing catch, I suppose, and were set upon by goblins. Okay, and then, wow, the tale just keeps getting more exciting.
Have some tea.
Anyway, all this talk about Goblin Town and my adventures with Thorin and company has brought back many memories. I was wondering if it wouldn't be too much of a bother to have you visit my old friends. Oh, we gotta go see Dwalin in Thorin's Hall and Gloin in the Misty Mountains. Well, he's in 2 places in the Misty Mountains. He says, I wonder if they have any memories of Goblin Town, which I could add to my book. Would you visit them and find out for me? He says, I would go, but I pledged I had made my last journey. Well, my last journey for a long while anyway. Okay, so we'll pop over to Thorin's Hall and go see him real quick. Yeah, okay, just making sure. Anyway, so it was cold and wet and I didn't like it. And it was also near freezing and I didn't like that. But I would say like maybe 2 weeks ago, the weather started to change and it's been above freezing. And it's been like 5 degrees and above. That's Celsius, so that's, I don't know, in the 40s or 50s Fahrenheit. Like, and then, yeah, it's probably getting up into the 50s, I think. So that's been nice. And then the sun's been out, and that's been really nice. That's been helping a lot. I even got up to like 15 degrees recently, so that was something. Yeah, so I went ahead and put away my winter coat and got out one of my thinner coats, but it may have been a little, today it was like 3 degrees or something. I was like,
Well met.
whatever. Bilbo Baggins, old burglar Baggins. There's a name I've not heard in many, many years. So he would like my impressions of Goblin Town. Well, they were not good, that's for certain. All the whips, the stench of the goblins, the wretched songs they sang. It was a dreadful ordeal altogether. And to make it worse, when Dory lost our burglar in those tunnels and Gandalf demanded we go back for him, well, we nearly despaired. Then he appeared out of nowhere alive. Well, that was a strange day. Okay. Which glowing do we need to go see? Campfire glowing? Which glowing do we need?
Let's do both if you pick up this other quest. Oh, you've already done it.
I don't have
Go ahead and take us to Misty Mountains.
regular? Okay. I'll take us to the guide to Misty Mountains or Hembark, and then we can ride over to where Gloin is hanging out normally, not where he is for the Goblin Town.
I have 2 quests for playing 1.0.
So we'll go Gloin 1.0. So we're going to pop over to Gloin's camp. There we go.
I think you have to do it.
I might not have. I may have already turned them all in, but that's okay. So, talking about the calendar with all the meals, but Aaron Bar, that was Pobel. The BELND is throwing me off. Oh no, I have something for Gloin. Hey, what up, yo? Bilbo has you researching Goblin Town. We had a terrible time there. I was sure the great goblin was going to make an end of us, but then Gandalf came along and saved the day. The fire went out, and all we could see was a towering column of smoke and sparks and glamdring flashing blue in the dark. The great goblin fell dead, and his folk went all wild. We still might not have escaped that place if it hadn't been daylight outside. All right. Oof. All right, shall we go back and talk to Bilbo? Tell him what we know? All right. Zip, zip. I love being a hunter for these quests. Aaron Bird says, no, the Hobbit calendar with the meals would be good, but Hobbit calendars have 30 days in every month and make up the needed times around Yule and Midsummer, he thinks. No daylight savings required. That's nice. I like that idea. Yeah, like if everything was just 30 days, like wouldn't that make a lot more sense? Just like make it. Also, the 7-day week is weird. Like, why 7? So I feel like they could tidy that up too, but you know. Also 24-hour days, I'm like, okay, whatever, but so, I think people work too much. Really, that's what it is. People work too much. All right, so Epic Games says we had a thunder shower of snow. I don't think in my entire life I've ever seen thunder and lightning with snow. That's pretty wild. We had what I would call like raining, like a gentle rain of hail recently. Like it was a nice, gentle, rainy kind of thing, but it was coming down as hail. So it wasn't like freaky hailstorm. Like normally, you know how it starts off with little hail and then it gets bigger really fast and it's just like, it wasn't that at all. It was just like, it was really weird. I wonder if it was the same storm. That would be really wild. Let's see. So Bilbo says you were able to find Dwalin and Gloin. Oh, that's good. And Dwalin was impressed by my reappearance after escaping Goblin Town. Well, it never would have happened if I hadn't fallen into that dratted Gollum's cave and found my way out. He said it's a pity that Gollum creature escaped the Elf King's people. All right, we'll grab another bottle of something I'm not really worried about. Preparing for the dark. He says, I would hate to ask this of you, but there is another place I would like you to go. The way is quite dangerous, and I simply am not sure whether I should indeed ask it of you. But it is a very important place. It's really where the whole mess began. Deep within Goblin Town, there is a cave. I've mentioned it before, I'm sure. A wretched creature called Gollum once lived there. Gandalf says he's related to hobbits, but I just cannot imagine it. At any rate, I would like you to find that cave and get me proper directions, as I stumbled into it quite by accident during my adventure with Thorin and company. But perhaps you should speak with Gandalf the Grey and my nephew Frodo. They might have some reservations about anyone going there. Okay. Well, luckily, those two are here and in the same place. Oh, yeah, Reef Citizen says, like a hail drizzle. Yes, I was in Utrecht during January and saw it too. That was the weirdest thing, wasn't it? I was like, that's so odd. But because it was gentle. It was cool though. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, and B4 points out that 10 degrees Celsius is like 50 Fahrenheit, for those trying to still do the math.
Just a moment.
Let's see. Frodo says Uncle Bilbo is a dear old hobbit, and he remembers his adventure fondly, but I do not think he even now understands exactly how terrible this whole thing is. Gollum is loose, and he is searching for something he once possessed. If you go to that place, hope he has not returned there himself. And Gandalf says, Bilbo wants you to go where? While Gollum no longer dwells within that cavern, it is by no means safe. You'll have to pass through the ranks of goblins in Goblin Town. What did he tell you of his encounter with Gollum? Nothing? Well, that's good, for it entails knowledge which you need not be made aware of. I cannot hinder you if you leave yourself up to the task, but I do warn against it. All right, well, let's go tell Bilbo. They both say you shouldn't go. They say we shouldn't go. They say you shouldn't have gone in the first place. Leave your mouse, sir, says Megavanen. Megavanen. So let's see. Now, Erenvar does point out that those in medieval times worked less than we do now due to all the holy days. Yeah, I suppose that's true. And the lack of, like, once the sun went down, you'd kind of just, like,
Hello
stop,
there.
you know, what you're doing out there. He says, well, then you have returned, and that means you have spoken to my nephew and my friend Gandalf. They aren't keen on you going to Gollum's cave. Well, I suppose I can't blame them, but I simply must know what has become of that place and how to find it again.
Good day.
I
Might I have a word with
suppose.
you?
Well, I've completed 30 quests in the Misty Mountains. I haven't been up here much, apparently. All right, the undiscovered path. He says, Gollum and his cave are very important to my book, and so I simply must be sure of the details. I don't suppose you could find the old villain, could you? No, that would be quite out of the question, I'm sure. Anyway, I'm not sure how I managed, hey kitty cat, to fall into one of the deepest caverns in Goblin Town, but if you could find it and make sure my recollections have not failed me, I would greatly appreciate it. There was a big lake. Hi, honey. There was a big lake in that cavern, which I remember fondly. And here's a big cat on my chair, which I do recall fondly also. Hi, Casper. Oh, you're smelling food. All right. Let's see. And look at you looking stately. You're a pretty boy. Yes, you are. You're a pretty boy. Let's see. So Bilbo says, I know Gandalf and Frodo don't approve, but it would bring some joy to this old hobbit if you could manage this for me. Casper has been, like, super cuddly today. He's, like, wanting scritches, and I laid down for a few minutes, and he came and laid down on me, and then Cateau came and joined us, and so all three of us were laying there together. It was very sweet. If you got an itch, just don't fall off the back of the chair, bud. So, all right, so we'll go ahead and accept that. So let's see. All right, so before I was doing the math on temperature, yeah, Epic Games says a misty hail almost. It wasn't so misty. It was like just a light shower, but it was hail. It was so weird. Yeah, hail drizzle, like Reef had said. Anyway, Epic Games says, well, our storm was on Sunday with the snow, thunder, and lightning. Yeah, it might have been in January. It might have been the same one that Reef Citizen saw. It's now, time passes really fast. I would have said it was like 2 weeks ago, but it might have actually been 2 months ago. Patty McGinty says, Kitty, is he a good boy? Yes, you're a very good boy, aren't you? What are you doing? Oh, you're grooming? Hi, aren't you a good boy? You're a sweet boy. Oh, yes, you are. You're a sweet boy. Yes, you are. What do you see out there? With the new windows that we have on the back door, they're in the same place as the previous windows, but I don't know, maybe there's less stuff or maybe something's, I don't know what's different about it, but the cats are definitely like looking outside a lot. It's great. So everybody says hi, Casper. Okay, so now we're ready to go back to Gollum's cave. Are you ready to go back to Gollum's cave? It looks like you are. I will take us back to Gloin. Right? Let's see, who's everybody else? I need to get a post. I need to do war description. Find the drummers. Find some. I do need to take some gems back to somebody. No, to Marilos, which I don't think you have this one. But if you don't mind, let's pop back out, and I want to.
Yeah, she's here.
Yeah, she's at the Spire of meeting.
I can pick that up.
Okay. Oh yeah, you could pick that up and start that quest if it's like.
If you're not sure.
I think I tried to, and it's got an X. Yeah, it's got an X. Oh, you know why? Because it's part of the epic.
Yeah, I'll do it.
So you might have to get that point. We'll find out though.
No, it's okay.
Before says to Patty that the cat is very cautious and or shy. That's true. He is like our shyer of the two. So we moved to the Netherlands like 5.5 years ago, and we had a cat in Colorado, and I've had cats most of my life. But we were in an apartment, like in the middle of Arnhem, and our landlord was not keen, on cats, so on people having pets, basically. So we didn't have any cats. Hang on, it's taking a while to load. Although it's a beautiful picture. I love it. It's like it's showing the Fellowship crossing out of Rivendell, I'm guessing. Although it looks like they're coming into Rivendell. Anyway, so once we moved to the house here, after a little bit of time, we were like ready to get cats. So we were like, okay, so, you know, what's the plan? And I wanted to get like either a duo or a trio, because a lot of times when cats get, you know, turned into a shelter, if they come as a duo, it's really hard to get them adopted together because usually people have other animals already and they don't want two. They're just looking for one to kind of fill in a gap of some sort. So I was like, yeah, let's definitely do like a double, 2 or 3 of them so they can keep each other company. And so we were kind of keeping an eye out. Oh, here she is. Hang on, let me give this lady these gems.
How can I be of service?
She says, thank you, for Goblin Town is a vile place and not easily traversed, right? My friend will be surprised and pleased that you have recovered the gems he thought lost, and he is sure to learn much of Jewelry Smith by studying them. I think all of these are below my level, so it must
Will
be
you
out.
lend me your ear?
Oh, and then she says, oh, I have to bring the box of repaired keys to Candleth. That's what I'm in the middle of. So she was repairing some keys. She did what she could. About half the keys are broken beyond repair or missing their pieces. But the repaired keys, she's fixed those up, and I can take those to Candleth with her regards. It was not an easy assignment, she says. Okay, so that's for another day. Ready to go? I will take us to Gloin's campsite. Let's go. Skogosi says, Casper is beautiful. I think so too. So anyway, so I was looking online at the various animal shelters that are in the region. And I assume Gloin doesn't have anything new. No, just the ones for far away from here. Okay. And there's one, I don't know, like an hour and a half away from us by car, maybe 2 hours. And that had a pair that were like a year and a half old. I was like, that's cool, you know. Because I realized that I didn't really want to deal with kittens. Kittens are a lot of work. And I have not had like, my energy levels are not always the same from day to day. So I didn't want to commit to something like, you know, raising kittens. Because you kind of got to stay on top of it, you know what I mean? So anyway, so I was like, okay, let's get adult cats. That'll be great. So there was a pair, yeah, that were like a year and a half or so. And so I put in an application for those, and the place contacted us and said, hey, you know, those two, we've gotten like 10 applications for them, but we have another pair, and that had been there for almost 2 months at that point, and nobody had expressed any interest in. And they're like, do you want to, you know, maybe check them out? I was like, sure. So they sent us the information about those cats. It was on their website, but somehow like I hadn't seen it or something. Probably because it might have been buried because they'd been there for a while. And they were they 6 and 8 at the time? Maybe 5 and 7. That's possible. Yeah, that sounds right. I think they were odd numbers when we got them. So I think they were 5 and 7 when we brought them home. And they had, and Kato's the older one, and she's smaller. And I don't know where she, oh, she's on top of the cat tower. Oh, which you can't see with me having changed my angle. That is a downside. Hey, there's a big boulder here. I wonder what happens if we touch it. Oh, look at that. It turns into a door. That's handy. Oops, I didn't mean to change my thing. There we go. And then we have to jump down this hole and take out things. So, oops. Sorry. Sandy says, they are just so pretty and so calm compared to my rogues. Well, that's another reason why I didn't want kittens, because I'm okay with calmer cats right now. I mean, kittens are so fun. They're super adorable. But, yeah. Oh, hey, we need to pick up sticks. Let's pick up a sharpened pike. Oh, I can pick up this one over here. Okay, cool. So yeah, when they first came to us, they were definitely a bit shy, you know, because what we learned, so first of all, everything's in Dutch, so there's a bit of that, but we were able to translate it. There was some paperwork that the person who turned them in had filled out. Basically, the people who had them, or the guy who had them, he passed away, and so the adult son turned the cats in to the shelter. And so, I mean, he hadn't been living with the cats, but he knew enough about them to be able to, like, you know, say what their personalities were and things like that. So from that, you can kind of read between the lines on some things. Like, for example, there was like a question about, like, how do they get along with other animals or something like that. And Cateau was listed as not liking ferrets, I think it was. But there was nothing about ferrets at all, whether Casper liked them or not. So from that sort of thing, we were like, so we're guessing she lived with ferrets at some point, and then before Casper came along, the ferrets were no longer resident in the same house. That's our guess. So things like that. We were trying to, like, you know, figure out what's the scoop on what their lives were like, you know, before us. And we're continuing to go down, 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 apparently. Okay, there we go. Man, sometimes I do that and I feel it in my legs. Like, not my character's legs, like my legs. I can feel it in my muscles. So, oh, hey, and there's a refuse pile here. Oh, you got to it first. Aw. All right, so this is another one where, you know, you want to wait and make sure everyone in your party has a chance to touch it before they run along. So Sandy was saying, Mary decided to run out the front door while I was bringing in groceries today. Scared me, but she freaked out and hunkered down, so I was able to catch her. That's convenient, yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, because that's like a scary thing, isn't it, when you've got indoor cats and then they get out and you're like, no! You don't want to be out there. And that was another thing we decided, is we didn't want indoor-outdoor cats in general. Both of us have had cats that were, I think, yeah, is that accurate? I know I have. I think you have.
Only in the sense that we both live in our
Okay, fair enough. So I grew up with cats, and, like, they've always been basically a part of my life. And when I was a kid, like, I didn't have a cat live with us past 2 years old until I was like 11 years old, because, you know, cats would, like, get feline leukemia from going out and interacting with other cats, or, you know, got hit by a car, or just went out and disappeared, you know, like all the various things that happen outdoors to cats. So, get taken by a hawk. Actually, one of my cats did not, but one of the kittens from one of my cats did. So, yeah, actually, I had a cat that was attacked by birds. Anyway, lots of things can happen outdoors to cats. And that makes me sad. And it makes me also sad because, for example, sometimes the cats are the murderators. And so, like, your local bird population is heavily decreased. And, you know, your local bunny population is heavily decreased. So that was our last cat in Colorado. She was the one keeping the populations down, because she would bring us all sorts of presents. So, yeah, apparently she thought we were terrible at feeding ourselves, because she brought us food all the time. Not the big ones, though. But any of the babies to teenager-sized bunnies, she brought home as presents, and birds occasionally also. So yeah, there's that. At any rate, so we had already decided that for the environment, for our own peace of mind, and for the health and safety of our cats, we really wanted to make sure that if they went outdoors, it was in some sort of a controlled situation, whether it be on a leash or whether it was like through some sort of a cat run or whatever. So yeah, like Sandy says, I really want to try them on a leash and go outside, but I'm so afraid they'll get away from me. So I have done leash on cats. It's ridiculous and hilarious, and it never goes as well as you hope it will. But I think if you train them from young enough, it doesn't go as badly. Like, I ended up at one point moving. When I was a kid, we moved from where we were in Colorado to Iowa, and the city that we lived in had a leash law for dogs and cats. So cats weren't allowed to be out loose. Like, okay. And my cats had been used to being out and roaming free and then just finding their way back home most of the time. So yeah, I tried, like we'd put them on the leash. We got like rope and like a hook and stuff, and they always wore collars. Our cats had collars, at least at that point. So we'd like got a little hook and hooked it to the collar, so they were like attached to the house at least, and then could go outside and just kind of roam in that space. But at the time I had 2 cats, and one of the cats, she wasn't like the most intelligent of cats, but she was savvy enough. Hang on, I just saw a ring down this way, or is it downstairs? Okay, in the next zone. Okay. So like, and she was a mouser. She was great at that. So she would be on her leash. Oh, okay. Outside, as she wanted to be. And she knew basically where she could get to. And then there were high grasses nearby. And so she would wait and watch the high grasses. And the mice were in there. And so a mouse would come out and get within her range, and then she knew, and she'd go get it. Her daughter was not as clever and would go to the end of her range, and then the mouse would come out, and she'd be like, let me get it, let me get it, let me get it. And of course she couldn't, because she didn't have any extra to go, because she was kind of bit of a derp. And the other thing, Daisy did stupid things. Another time we had like a chair outside to, just sit outside. And Daisy climbed up on the chair while she was on the leash, and then like climbed up on the back of the chair, and then like jumped off the chair. But she didn't have enough leash, so she's like hanging there. And I'm like, so I went and rescued her from herself in that time. So I had to really keep an eye on her when she went outside, even on her leash. So anyway, so I had this brilliant idea, as you do when you're like 11 years old, to attach. So I tried to take them out for a walk, and they always wanted to go in different directions. So I'm like, well, that's not going to work. So I just used the same rope that they were on with the little hooks and stuff. And we were like, okay. And they wanted to go out different directions. I was like, well, that's not going to work. So I had this brilliant idea. I'll tie the ends together, and they can work it out themselves, and I'll just follow them. Well, that didn't work either. Because, there's things like trees and shrubbery and whatnot, and they just got themselves wrapped all around it. And so so that was the end of me trying to walk the cats. But again, they hadn't done it like from when they were young. So, it might go better if it's something that they're doing from the beginning. We did get a harness and try that out with Kato, because she was desperate to go outside. And we thought, okay, well, if we can get her to do it, because she's usually the more adventurous of the two, we thought, well, if we can get her to do it, then eventually we can get him to do it too. So we got like the harness thing, so it's like, it's covering a lot of spots, so it's not easy to get out of. But what we discovered is we didn't necessarily have the right size for her. All right, cool. This guy's probably fuming about the loss of his trolls. Well, happy to help. All right, so no other words from him. And what's our elf have to say over here? Hey. He says, this will do just fine. Give me a moment. This is the giving him the sticks. All right, so his plan is in motion, ready to put into motion. If we're successful, then the orcs and the goblins will fall on each other, perhaps destroying any chance for Angmar to bring Goblin Town under its control. Take the sack and place the items within it in a firm bit of earth and make certain that the stake will stand freely. We need to make sure that the orcs will see it. Okay. Alrighty. And then do I need to talk to the goblin again? No, it's probably the one upstairs, isn't it? No, he still wants to talk to me again. What's up? Well, he has a ring. Oh, no. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I don't need to track the candleth. Hold on a second. Oops. The other way. Let's unfollow that. Talk to Gloin at his camp. Should we go do that? Okay, we'll go do that. Yeah, so Sandy, I think that if you tried like getting harnesses for them and just let them wear them around the house and get used to them, and then try to do the whole put them on a cable and take them places, they might go for it. Let's see, goblin keepers with the wargs already. This does indeed mean something darker and evil lies within Goblin Town. And we talk about the orders and what up?
Come and stay a moment, friend.
Visitors from the north. He thought they were Angmarim, but he thinks they might be Uruks. So we want to go collect orders from within Goblin Town. Okay. Oh, and hey, this guy's got drum keepers. Defeat Kashar and defeat Goblin Town lashers. And go find 3 of the leaders in there and defeat them. And then does he have anything? No, Mr. Gem Finder does not. Okay. And Gloin, same old stuff. Okay, we're good to go. Yes, it's Gloin O'Clock. That's what Appadil says. Aaronbird asks, was there much wildlife where your smart kitty lived? So we had, yes, at various points there was. Now, thankfully, she was happy to be a house cat most of the time, but yeah, she did go out and hunt sniff from time to time. I think she was a mouser. Like, that was just kind of part of her DNA, and she was really good at it. So we never had to worry about mice. That was nice. So, yeah. Aaron Bard says, outdoor leads can be a hazard if there is wildlife. Oh, so when my cats were on the leashes in Iowa, there wasn't like, we were in the city pretty much. I mean, there was a cornfield nearby. My grandparents lived nearby. It was like us, cornfield, grandparents. But there weren't like wolves or mountain lions or anything of that sort. Like, there weren't any predators for a cat. Now, when I lived in Woodland Park in the mountains in Colorado, very much so, there was that sort of thing. So then I didn't have cats at this time, but we had 2 dogs. We had a husky and an Australian shepherd, and so they were just fine. They fit very well in the neighborhood. Always would go on walks with a leash and all that, and they would run around our backyard and that sort of thing. But yeah, we did have mountain lions, and we did have bears. We had deer. I mean, we were right next to like national parkland, so it was the wildlife, lived there. And unfortunately, occasionally like a new set of houses would be built further into the forest, and so the critters of the forest would lose some more of their home. So that's why we kept having bears come down, because they would get hungry because there was less of their space and all those things. So yeah, we did have to be careful about that sort of thing. And nobody in the neighborhood had cats, or if they did, they didn't last very long. They became somebody's snack. So, and in fact, you had to be really careful because the mountain lions did come down into the area, not very often, just once in a while. I think just when they were really hungry too, because in general, wildlife doesn't want to interact with humans. They're not particularly fond of us, and that's fine. But we're in the war steadings now. So, but one time across the street, so it was like us, street, and then a couple houses, like those houses backed onto the national forest. And, we're going down, okay, cool. And so the neighbors across the street had like 1 or 2 young children, like under 3 years old. And then they had twins. So they had like, you know, a bunch of little ones in the house. And one evening, like their back patio, it was like their house back patio, and then the forest. And did I get it? I'm not sure if I did. Or did you get it first? Oh, oh yeah, I got already in use. That's funny. Discarded pouch. That's a shiny button. I need a scratched button and a broken cufflink. Yeah, that's what I have left. Awesome. Oh, so anyway, so the mom was in the kitchen. The kids were like in bed or whatever, and like the back patio sensor light came on, and she's like looking. She doesn't see anything. It's like, okay, and like this was happening like throughout the week or something like that. And during the day, they'd be out with their kids. Like they'd have the door open. The kids would be playing on the little patio right there and whatnot. So as you can probably figure out, it turned out that there was a mountain lion that was down and was like prowling the area, and occasionally it would set off the light sensor out back. So they figured that out and were like, "Ooh boy!" So within 6 months, they had moved down the hill into Colorado Springs. They're like, "We're going to the city." It was like, yeah, they were over that. Hey, I found a battered chest. I wonder what's in it. I found a scratched button. So, you might want to come over here and check out this box once it comes back. Aaron Bard says Australian Shepherds are nice dogs. She was a very pretty dog. So Australian Shepherds are herding animals. They're really good at, like, you know, keeping their pack together, whether they're herding sheep or children or whatever. That's what they want to do. They're very good at that. And they're also very social. Like they don't like being alone. Like they're part of the pack. And the person who raised her initially, who had her as a puppy, liked cute little things, puppies, kittens, small children, you know, babies, that kind of thing. But once she got a little bit bigger, like kind of get into that awkward phase, you know, that as a dog does, she wasn't as like, all right, collected orders, hoorah. Yeah, so basically the dog ended up living out in the backyard, and they had like a 6-foot privacy fence, so you can't see between. And so like this dog was by herself in the backyard. There was nothing to do. She was digging, and she didn't have anybody to hang out with. There weren't other animals out there with her, and she couldn't see. She could hear noises like happening as cars would go by and whatnot, but she couldn't see anything, and so it was driving her nuts. She was like manic, so we found out about this, and this was my first husband. He was really into Australian Shepherds. I think he'd had one as a kid or something like that. So, so he was, you know, his heart went out to her. So we took over ownership of the dog. She was like a year old at the time, and she was very happy. She now had a pack of 4 that she could manage. So she was, though, never quite got over that manic aspect of it, and so she was still very like Velcro. You know, like, yeah, she just wanted to be with her pack all the time. So then a couple of months later, we moved up into the mountains, and it's still like we moved up in like the summertime, and it was coming into fall, but it was still warm out. And like in the middle of the night, there was like a car noise, like car doors, that kind of thing. And then they drove off, which is kind of odd because you wouldn't necessarily have like people getting dropped off in the middle of our neighborhood because the houses were so far apart and people just like would go to the house. So we thought that was some oddness. But anyway, so the next day, there's this super scrawny husky hanging around, and like he comes up on our front porch, and our dog, which she had been, like I said, kind of manic and always like protect her, she didn't bark at him. She's watching him, and she's like watching him through the window, and they end up like looking at each other through the window and kind of like hanging about. And he's just like chilling out. He's not really doing anything. So we think somebody dumped him in the night. But we called the animal shelter, for the county, and took him up there, and there was no tags, there was no identification or anything like that. But he definitely he'd been fixed, and he definitely seemed like he'd been around people. Like, it didn't seem like he'd been living wild or anything like that. So it was one of those things where, like, they kept him for 3 days, and then we could foster him, and even if nobody claimed him, we could just adopt him, which is what happened. Amber had said that's terrible, which it is. And I think it's really sad that that was the choice these people made. But it was really interesting because, so what I learned a lot about Huskies. They love to run. They're very clever dogs. They're very good at escaping. And if you don't give them, like, especially if you don't train them early on to stay home, they have a really hard time staying home. So that's what this poor guy was doing, is he started off, he was very scrawny, he was very, I fell down. I'll just hang out here. Okay, cool. So as he was with us, he started to kind of, like, grow muscles back and, like, become his real self, which was lovely to see him, do that. Like, for the first, like, 6 months, he didn't make any noise. So we thought maybe he was mute. I think it's because, now later on we think it's because he just didn't have the muscles structure. Like, he'd just been kind of, like, his body had just kind of gone into, like, or just staying alive mode, basically. So then the first time he made noise, we were like, what was that? And he did have that husky, "Ow" thing, like Chewbacca. So that was great. He was quite a lot of fun to listen to and hang out with. He had a fun personality. So, in time he really, you could tell he was really happy at our house and stuff. So it was a very happy ending for him. He had a good life. But oh my gosh, those dogs can shed. Like, Huskies do this thing where they grow a coat, and then like over the winter, and then let me see. Find the broken cufflink, write a description of Gollum's cave, talk to somebody in the Goblin prison. You have that to do also. Return the orders to Gloin, talk to Gloin's camp. Yep, okay, I can do that. Sounds great. So they get this big, thick, like, kind of, not scruffy, that's not the right word I think, like, scratchy, kind of scratchy winter coat to keep them warm. Because they're used to being outdoor sled dogs. They're really good at that. And man, they can run. Like, if you want a marathon runner, like, be a husky. Like, oh my gosh. All right, so I got to show orders to Elrond at Rivendell, because he can't figure this stuff out. And then I need to defeat some guys inside. So I'm good either way. Yeah, like a coarse, like a rough, coarse coat. And then underneath that is this really fine, super soft coat, much shorter. So what they do is then, as the weather warms up and they don't need that big one, they just shed it. But it comes off in clumps. And so you'll see the dog has got, like, clumps. And then there's, like, the fine, I don't know, it was nuts. And then we just have, like, clumps of hair everywhere. It was like, oh my gosh, he's crazy. Shall I take us to Rivendell? Okay. Awesome. Like, even after I got divorced, like, a number of years later, and many moves later, like 3 moves later, I still was finding husky fur in my stuff. It was crazy. Because then in the winter, they shed their summer coat, but it's not the same. Anyway, yeah, husky fur everywhere. And because the Australian Shepherd was still a little manic, she just chewed on things sometimes, like when she just would get nervous or upset or whatever. So it wasn't too often, but once in a while you'd just be like... So I had, like, some, IP branded Lego sets that I had put together and stuff, and yeah, some of those Legos did not survive getting chewed on, things like that. The kids had the Brio, the train sets made out of wood. Some of that got chewed on. So, rescue dogs are lovely, but they do come with some quirks. And to be fair, those are the only dogs I've ever lived with. So, yeah, it went pretty well for that, I suppose. They were strong too. Holy macaroni! I tried to walk them one time, and they wrapped me around a stop sign.
Lend me your aid
So, all right. So Gloin was wise to send you to me. It appears that his fears regarding the goblins have proven true. Though I am loath to say it, it appears a new goblin leader has emerged within the hollows of Goblin Town. This new great goblin has united the goblins, and now even now defies the emissary sent from the north. Gloin should be told that the emissary from the north is under orders to force the goblins to heed the call of Angmar. Warn him of this and tell him to be cautious. Take the orders back to him and bid him read my words. Okay. Yeah, can do. Okay, anything else? Eladan Ilor here. Nope, not today. Back to Gloin. Yeah, Palmela says huskies need a lot of attention. They're very smart and tend to chew on everything, and often hunt even other neighborhood pets. Let me tell there's some Gloin. Great goblin cannot be. No. And some foods I don't need. Okay, cool. Gloin, you got anything for me? Great goblin. Yo, a lot of words to tell us that we're gonna go defeat a great goblin. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So anyway, she says they're beautiful dogs, but can be a handful if someone isn't prepared to care for them. Exactly. And so here's the funny thing is, so he came to us, like I said, when we first got him, he was very weak, right? And so as he got more strength, he got more into exploring. So first he would we got him to come in and go out. At first he wasn't certain if he was allowed in the house, but we got him to come in and okay, got that done. So got that sorted out. Then he started to want to explore. So there was there were 4 house fences that came together to make it like an X, and so the dirt kind of piled up against those spots, and so he used that to climb up and over into the neighbor's yard. So found him over there, brought him home. So then he used that to climb up and over into the next neighbor's yard. Okay, found him, brought him home. And then he did the next neighbor's yard. So found him, brought him home. So then the next thing we did was we built up the fences higher. Well, then he started doing the same thing, but he figured out how to climb and either pull it over or just let his weight take him over. So he was really clever on that. So, and then he tried digging under. So that's when we started putting him outside on a leash. And then he chewed through that. So then we got a metal one. Now I forget the order of things at this point, but at one point we tried doing the electric fence with the collar. He figured out that he could dig that up, so then we got it so he couldn't dig it up. And then he figured out that if he stood there and let it zap him for 30 seconds, then it would stop. And then he could, I've got more things to go beat up on. And I didn't realize there was more stuff. Oh, and the emissary. Go defeat the emissary. Okay, I think I have everything now. Double check though. So he figured out that he could get zapped for 30 seconds and just wait it out, and then it would stop. And then he could climb over the fence. Okay, so then we had him on the leash. He chewed through that, got the metal one, like a steel cable, but he figured out that if he licked it and then he kind of stepped on it, he could rust it and break it. So he did that one time. It was really funny because we lived on a hill, so the basement was downstairs, but it was also the backside of it looked out, it was windows and out onto the street nearby. So I'm on the phone with somebody, and I was like, oh hey, look, there's deer running down the street. And then I go, oh, there's a dog chasing them with something behind him. it's a dog with missing part of its, like a leash or something. Oh wait, that's my dog. So, as he started to get out and escape, what I realized is that he was just kind of making a spiral, and as he got stronger and stronger, his spiral got bigger and bigger. Like at one point he ended up at like the national park, like some campers called us and like, hey, is this your dog? Because we put a collar on him with our phone number on it at this point. So I got used to just like jumping in the car, going to where he might be. Sure enough, there he is. Pick him up, get him back in, or entice him with food or whatever. Because he got to the point where he was so heavy, there was no way I could pick him up. I couldn't manhandle him. But he was docile enough that usually I could convince him to come with me. So one time, I remember though, he was getting further and further out, that we had some friends visiting, and so we had extra people, and he got out, he was running down the state highway, and we figured out that's where he was going to go, and we got it right, and we ended up like, so one car went ahead, and one car was pacing him. He was going like 35 miles an hour. And so we're pacing him from here. The other one shot ahead and got in front of him and stopped and was like waiting. We jumped out and we're waiting for him. And then as he tried to go around, we were able to, grab him and get him back home. So another time he got out and got further, and he ran all the way to the other side of the city, basically. And apparently he and some other dogs were chasing a deer. And they got to like a different state highway, and a car was coming along. And so the deer like ran up and over this woman's like front of her car. Didn't break her windshield or anything, which is nice. As far as I recall. Okay, plans are in motion. And then like everything stopped, the deer ran off, the other dogs ran off, but he's just like, well, that was a fun adventure, and he just like laid down. So I'm at home and I get this phone call, and they're like, hey, we have this husky here, blah, blah, blah. Is this your dog? And I was very tempted to say no at this point, because I was like done. But yes, so the police had the dog. I had to go pay a fine and pick up the dog. Sounds like a Arlo Guthrie routine. So, paid the fine, got the dog home, had some conversations, and went looking for like a husky rescue organization, because obviously this guy was more of a handful than I could handle. Well, turns out they're all full, and nobody was taking any huskies, and nobody was taking our husky. So we were stuck with him, which, I mean, in a way is fine, because he was sweet. He was a super sweet guy. He was just a pain in the butt, right? And costing us money, getting us in trouble with the police at this point. So then I think this is the point where we finally figured out how to do a cable that was metal but covered in plastic. Oh, another time we had the hook on there, and it's the kind that has like a little pin that you slide down, and it slides the pin down. So you can, you slide the pin out, and then you can hook and unhook it, and then the pin slides back up, but it's got like a little knob, so you can push that down. He figured that out. He figured out that if he did it just the right angle, he could push down with one, and he could push it the other way with the other and unhook himself. So in the end, we ended up with like a steel cable covered in plastic, a hook that you needed like 2 human hands to do, and it did a different way. So there was no way he could do it with his paws. And there was like one other thing that we did. I can't remember what it was. Oh, because we kept trying to stake it in the ground, and he'd pull the stake up and run off. So I think we ended up tying it to a tree. Or, well, not tying it, but like, bolting it in some fashion to the tree. I think that's how we finally got him to stop running off. It's not that he wanted to run off. He was always like, kind of like, oh, sorry, when we got him back. And the Australian Shepherd was hilarious because we'd get him home and she's a herding dog, right? So she would just herd the heck out of him. Be like, he'd start to go towards a window or a door and she'd be like, you're not even going close to that, buddy. It was really funny. Oh, that's funny. Pomela says, after all these escapes, I feel like I need to know what this dog's name was if I'm ever in a bind. I want to think of him and what would he do to get himself out of it. He's an inspiration. He's very inspiring if you're ever in a sticky point. So, okay, so the Australian Shepherds often have like a white bit in front and she was dark. So they often look like they're wearing a tuxedo. So the dog had been named Tux by the previous owner. And then the Husky, of course, we didn't know his previous name. And my kids were young, and Blue's Clues was all the rage at the time. And the Husky had 2 different colored eyes. One was kind of like a brown hazel, and one was blue. And so the dog's name was Blue. Yeah. Oh, wait, was this guy we needed? Farmak? Do we need Farmak, the best runner in Goblin Town? Yeah. Yes, we did. I got you, Farmak. Yeah, Houdini. That would have been a good name for him. But no, his name is Blue. Named after Blue's Clues, pretty much. And his blue eye. So. Oh, Sandy says, we had a husky when the kids were little named Kodiak Blue. He was also a pain, ate everything, including baby socks. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've lost track of which dog ate what. One time for Easter, we did the thing where you color the Easter eggs, and then the Easter bunny hides them around the house in the morning, and then the kids go find them when they get up, right? Well, the Easter bunny had hidden the eggs, and then the kids weren't up yet. Oh, I got a jail key. But the dogs, I think this was Blue, found one of the eggs and ate it. So, yeah, there's that. Yeah. Oh, yay, Bilbo's buttons. How strange. Scattered throughout the warrens of Goblin Town seems to be a set of old, well-worn brass buttons, as if lost from a Hobbit's waistcoat. How in the world did such things come to be in these dark and twisted tunnels? I like it. That's awesome. So, yay, we finished the deed. Bilbo's buttons. Let's see. So, Yakuzu. That gave me 10 Lotra points, some marks, some virtue experience, and reputation with the elves of Rivendell. Awesome sauce. Oh, hey, I think we need this guy, too. You are so smart to see him. Bye, Zog. I don't need any goblins for a deed, apparently. Probably. These Goblin Town soldiers? Nope, doesn't do anything for me. I don't know why. Maybe I defeated enough goblins. They're like, you know how to defeat goblins. 301 goblins, whatever. That's so last year. Anyway, so there's the trials and tribulations of our previous dogs. Hey, baby. So this is Kato, for those of you who haven't met her. So she's the older of our 2 kitty cats. Yes, I do find having the cats much easier than having the dogs. They eat a lot less, too, which is kind of nice. I mean, both animal food and other things. I do have to be careful with her, though, because if she sees, like, a plastic wrap container, bag, any of that stuff, sometimes she ignores it, but sometimes she'll go and try to eat it. And so that's not good, That's not going to be good for a cat's digestive system. So do have to be careful about that, because she will eat odd things. But yeah, it's really interesting because most of the time these two just ignore most things. Unless it's a plant, they like to chew on the plants. So I don't have any indoor plants right now except for, well, one that had leaves on it, or flowers, but the flowers died. But that's okay. Hey, we've completed the description. Bilbo asked for it. Do we not need to go to the middle for anything? This is Gollum's Cave. We're going to the mill. Because we're on here. What?
Your own edification.
Yes. Okay. We're going to go look at the middle in case anybody doesn't get here. Sandy says, yes, my cats love plastic bags. I know, right? Like, it's like, why are you doing that, cat? That's not good for you. So this is Gollum's cave. Ooh. Here, let's take away the... There we go. You can get a good look of it here. Yeah, creepy looking place, huh? Not the kind of place I'd want to, like, you know, summer. All right, we'll get out of here. Zoom. Yes, Gollum's cave, we found it. And occasionally she likes to eat, like, string or yarn. So I have to be careful with that. Actually, what she goes for on my desk, because on my desk I often have my little hair clips, and she nibbles on those if I don't take those away from her. And I think that's a bad idea because I don't want her to, like, you know, end up ingesting it by mistake. That would be a bad choice. I think she would not find that happy. So anyway, yeah, so we got these two not dogs. Thank goodness. I think I'm okay not owning dogs again. But of course, I wouldn't have all those fun stories if I hadn't owned dogs in the first place. So there we go. But yeah, I'm very happy to have these kitty cats. And this does look like it should be a door. Why is it not a door? This is, I don't know. Maybe it's only a door in an instance. Oh, maybe it's the door to the instance. But now that you don't have to do discovery on everything. You used to in Lotro have to go and discover places, and then if you wanted to go into the instance, you had to get there and go into it. Which, I mean, from a lore perspective, you know, that's kind of fun. But from a gameplay perspective, it's kind of annoying. So I can understand why they were like, yeah, I just use the instance finder, you can go in there. So Aaron Bart says, my cats love the tie-off milk jugs. They store them under the fridge. Yes, the little, oh, are we going in? Okay. Yeah, the little plastic rings off of the milk jugs that, like, you have the cap, you twist it off, and then there's, like, the little plastic that's left on there. We take those off of our milk jugs, and then we toss them, and the cats love those. They chase them all over, and bat, 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 bat. It's really funny. Oh, here's, oh, finally see this instance. Okay. I don't know, what do we need to do? Excuse me. Oh, we need to go defeat the Great Goblin, right? Okay. So B4 is saying that there's actually two versions of this instance. Okay. Guys. This is maybe, yeah. That mini is so deadly, says Pomela. Yes, yes. I'm okay. So Seat of the Great Goblin is an Erebor instance, and this is a Misty Mountain instance that I would assume, or landscape instance. So, yeah. This one, yeah, is there's a yeah. Anyway. We defeated the big goblin. Is there something else we need to do here? Oh, hey, we haven't been looking at the paintings. Did we done the paintings? Oh. No, I thought you could look at the paintings in general. You can only do that during that instance. Okay, I thought it was a landscape deed. Apparently not. Okay, we're gonna go down. Yeah, Loshire, sorry I don't have a lot of, like, talking you through this instance. Oh, we had to go down because we're going to destroy this guy in the pit. It's a little bit Star Wars-y. That's what it reminds me of. And then is this the one where we got to go to another one and they pound? Yeah, so here's the guy who's like, you killed my guy! That makes me sad. Which, I mean, fair. What else are we doing here? Nothing. We're done. Oh, okay. This one's a lot easier than the other one, that Seed the Great Goblin. Is this an instance? We're in an instance, right? Oh, I can leave it. It's glowing o'clock. Okay. We don't leave instance, we go to glowing? Oh, that is a way of leaving an instance. Haha. We can do this. What was I going to say? So we got these cats, and they were a little bit older, and we've been very happy, and I think they're happy
What do
too.
you want?
All right, leaders of the deep. We took care of those leaders for you. You're welcome. What can I say? Okay, you're welcome. And Gloin, we took care of that great goblin. This old dwarf has hope restored by your hand. Is it jazz hands? I'm just going to pick the most expensive thing. 1160. Yep. So I'm just going to sell it. And Gloin does not have anything else for me at the moment. Oh, but the gem finder does. Oh, right.
What is the
Turn
meaning of
in. Oh. 253. 850. Oh, that one's better. Give me that. Can I sell it right back to you? Do you mind?
this? This is unthinkable.
1182. 1260. That's nice. And the emissary.
It
We
is
got rid of
an
him too.
insult.
7. Oh, I think this is supposed to be a really good shield. Let's see. The cosmetic wise. No, that's not the one. Must be a different one. Okay, he
Is your
doesn't have any
need
more
so great that
quests.
you must bother me?
He doesn't have any more quests. Gloin had his regular quests. I need to return the key to Aglas at his cell in Goblin Town prison and talk to Bilbo. I think the Bilbo thing finishes him off. I don't think he has anything else he wants us to go look at for him. Because, you know, going to see Gollum's cave is pretty exciting. I don't think we need anything more exciting than that from him. So, yeah, so what we did for these two is, so a lot of the shelters were like, hey, cats need to be able to go in and out here in the Netherlands when we were looking. And we were like, yeah, but we don't want cats that go in and out. We want cats that are in and can go out like supervised, or we create a space for them to go out or something, but they are not desperate to go out. And the cats that were in the shelter, especially the one nearby us in Arnhem, they were like, no, the only cats we have need to go out. We're like, well, that's not going to work for us. So we did let the shelter know when we got these two that we're like, you know, we're going to let them out, but only in like a controlled situation. They're not going to have free reign outside. And they were fine with that. They were like, yeah, sure. Although it could have been also, they were like, yes, please take these cats and give them a home. Could have been some of that too. So yeah, so we got a door, a cat door put into the wall. And then on the other side of that, we've created a cat run with like using wire and stuff before he's done most of the construction on that. So they can go out and walk through part of the yard, and then there's like a little building at the back of our garden, and it's like a 3-sided structure with a roof. And so before put like mesh wire across the front of it, so and created like a human door, so we can go in and out, and the cats can use their little tunnel to get into it, and so they can sit out there and, you know, stare at the ducks in the water nearby and watch dogs being walked on the path behind that and stuff like that. But that's been really, really cool for them. I think they really enjoying that. Even through the cold winter, when it was rainy and cold, they were still going out, especially Casper. He loves to go out and just sit out on, there's a bench out there and just watch what's going on out there. So it's very cute watching them. And you're a cutie. Yes, you are. Yeah. Oh, she's purring. Yeah. I'm surprised she's not trying to get on my lap, but then again, I haven't really made a good lap for her right now.
What can I do for you?
All right, he says, it appears the goblin was telling the truth. We're now close to escaping this place. You have my thanks for all you have done. Oh, I have to pick a trinket. Okay. I just wanted to see if either one was like worth more than the other. All right, so he says, my plan has not worked. The goblins were prepared, though I don't know how. It doesn't matter. We have a key. Now that we have a key, the time has come for us to leave this place. We need to be cautious. Glorwyn, the elf upstairs, she must be taken. There you are. And we will test the truth in the goblin next door's words. All right. So,
Make your mind.
guard me while I free the others. Stay close, he says. All right. And it is fellowship, so we're both getting credit for in general. Oh, we have to attack goblins for him. All right, baby. So she's just laid down on my lap, and she's like got her head on my wrist over here, which is kind of funny, making it a little bit more tricky for, you know, using my mouse or whatever. All right, our assignment is to see him safely from the prison. So working on that. Oh, we got a bunch of things that are being attacked, or attacking us, sorry. I'll just take care of them, I guess. Where's our dude? What's he doing? Oh, okay. Ah, he's freeing the goblin. Okay. Thanks for freedom, good elf friend. Now you die. Well, that wasn't very nice of him. Double-crossed us. I did not think the creature would be redeemed, but I'd rather prove their evil than slaughter them without thought. Fair enough. Let them show you they're bad rather than just assuming they're bad. I digs because it's what I does. He's a husky. Let us slow our speed and be cautious approaching the other elf. Okay. I'll walk with him so we don't lose track of him. Just in case he like finds somebody to deal with. So what are you working on today for your stream, honey? Festival buddy. So after me is before we'll be streaming today. Oh, hey, there's a person. Bye. Oh, that's so weird. I didn't realize this was part of like landscape. How is that happening? That is bizarro. That's wild. I assumed it would be like an instance, but it's not. All right, so do we need to open the door or does he do it? It is locked. I guess he does it. Okay. No worries. She says, thank you. I'll be safe from here. All right. So we got to escort this guy, but she's like, I know the way out. Oh, we have to save the dwarf the goblins had taken. Okay. Let's go find a dwarf. I think there was a dwarf. Well, it doesn't work. We're just seeing his butt. Oh, we were too late for this poor soul. She is gone. Aww. That's sad. All right. So, are we... There we go. We should move more swiftly. The exit is not far now. I agree. It's so funny. Oh, hey, they found their way to freedom. Good job. Talk to Gloin, yeah? Do you have anything else? I have talked to Gloin and talked to Bilbo. All right. It's Gloin o'clock. Nope. Apparently it's not. We got to go do something. It's one other thing o'clock. Oops. Hey, baby. Sometimes she's like so chill and then she's like, oh, gotta go. Like, I don't know, just something wakes her up or something and she's like, I got activity. Things that have to be done. Gotta deal with it right now. Bye, honey. I do appreciate though they've gotten a lot more chill over the time they've been here with all of the craziness and construction and stuff that's been going on here recently. So like we had somebody, they came out and they were drilling basically between the bricks. We have to go to the deep fires. Okay, they were removing the mortar between the bricks, and then that was one day, And then they came back a different day to remove the mortar between different bricks. So then they came back a third day to fill in between the bricks. So, and I guess there was also some loud noise that same day. Anyway, Casper, who has normally just gone and hidden in our closet, instead like went up to the top floor, fell asleep on the couch, and just chilled out there. So that was great. That was a definite improvement in his comfort level when it comes to, you know, the stress of that sort of thing. So that was really cool to see. And then also, like, when we get up, sometimes they're like, you know, oh, I have to get up too, that sort of thing. Oh, hang on. I need beasts. I need wargs in the Misty Mountains. Okay. What? Oh. Really? Oh, you couldn't see it. How interesting. Oh, okay. I didn't realize that I could see things that you couldn't, though. Huh. Maybe I have a stealth detection, some points in that or whatever. That's wild. Lord Zach Bora says, hello, hello. I do not know it. Oh, we may have gone down too far. We may have to go back up. Okay. So yeah, so B4 is going to stream after me today, back to our normal, and he's going to work on Festival Buddy plugin, which is great given that the Spring Festival is coming so soon. Oh, is it the Spring Festival that has the Gammers furniture? Because I've been looking forward to getting some of that on this server. Oh, and you know another nice thing about Festival is it's a great way to get points into the legendary item reward track, because it gives you LI reward track experience, but it gives it to you at your level, but it's non-combat, so it's like, oh, it's like delicious. Bislowski says, hi little redhead, how you doing? I'm good now. Almost died last week. You had a heart attack. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're doing all right. Are you in the hospital then, or are you able to be home and recovering? I've thought about that, about like, what if I ended up being in the hospital for something, you know, like, could I play Lotro on my laptop from a hospital bed? That's what I've been like, what can I do? You're home now. Okay. Did an angiogram on Tuesday and put 2 stents in on Wednesday. Wow. Well, that's more excitement than I had wished for anybody. So, but I'm glad to hear that modern medicine is keeping you alive. You were in for 5 days. It feels like a long time, doesn't it? I haven't spent, oh, we're going to the super deep mini fires. Oh yes, we're going to the deep fires. Super deep, and there's many fires. So many fires, you're just like gonna be overwhelmed. Oh look, here we are. And that's the deep fires. There's one. Nah, well, you could, hey, there's one on the wall here. That could count. That might count. And like, if you let these guys get their things off, those are fires. So, maybe? I don't know. Yes, the lore says, few know the full extent of the depths of Goblin Town, and those who have experienced them most likely died therein as slaves to cruel goblin overseers. The goblins themselves may not know all the ways, for the deepest passages extend far into the heart of the Misty Mountains where dark and unseen terrors lies, and the goblins will not brave these passages unless driven or enraged. So yes, we are in the deep fire, or as Affodil's calling it, the shallow fire. I mean, yeah, like, I've been to Moria. Come on, this is like, yeah, it is a bit underwhelming, I would say. So, Bill Slosky says, it was very scary. I thought I was going to die. Well, yeah, I can imagine that would be very scary. Well, I hope you are able to relax and find some calm during your recovery, and hopefully hanging out with us here in Lotro will kind of take your mind off of things and let you,
No
yeah,
dawdling.
let you recover with some peacefulness in your home when hopes. All right, the most expensive thing is 10, so I will take it. And the other two things are far away from here. All right. Oh, hey, there's a person. Hello. Hello, person. They're tall. A very tall horse. Shall I take us to Bilbo?
Yeah.
Okay, so Rivendell, off we go. Rivendell. Aaron Bard said, yes, the Gamma Furniture is coming up. Hooray! And you also can confirm you can play Locho in a hospital if you have Wi-Fi. That's funny. I hope I never need to put that into play, but good to know in case I do. So, yeah. Yeah, Aaron Bard says, so glad you survived, Boslowski. So, yes, we're all very happy to hear that you survived. Yeah, you're better now? That's good. Well, I can imagine. Yeah, yeah. That's the funny thing is, like, I have, health, like, twinges and things and whatnots. And when I feel something that I'm like, well, that's not normal, sometimes I start to worry about something, and I'm like, your mind just goes all sorts of places. So I'm like, just try to be chill, try to be calm, don't worry about it, it's probably fine. Go talk to somebody, have them take a look. But yeah, I can imagine, yeah.
A lovely day.
All right, so Bilbo says, well, this just goes to show you can only trust your memory so far. I had forgotten all about Gollum's hut. I never saw it up close, thank goodness, so I had no reason to be concerned with it. It looks like I will have some revisions to make to my book. Thank you very much. So I think this is kind of a reference to the fact that Bilbo's story of getting the ring and being in Gollum's cave and all of that changed somewhat between The Hobbit and then Lord of the Rings, because there were different things that Tolkien wanted to do with that storyline. So I think this is a nod to that. Oh, I don't have enough room. Hang on, gotta sell some stuff. A conical hat of peace. Well, we gotta look at that. Wow, that is quite a conical hat. That's lovely, and I'm going to sell it. Sell the gloves, sell the shoes, sell the necklace and the trinket, and the gloves, and the shoes, because what Hobbit wears shoes anyway. And sell those things. 45 level Atlas, I think I can get rid of that. And don't need that, or that, or that, or that, or that, or that. We'll have to look at how my reputation is. Oh, I have to have completed something in order to use that reputation. Okay. No worries. So, let's see. Get rid of that. Nope, that's a goner. Nope. Lovely bow, but I like mine better. What else we got here? I'm not gonna bother. Get rid of the shoes, and then earring, and that, and that, and oops, didn't mean to get rid of that. Hang on, come back. All right, cool. Lord Zach Boris says, cute dog. What? No dogs. Oh, or did you put out a pet? I don't know what dog you're talking about. Do I need hooked ward claws, guardians, or roomkeepers? Nope, gonna get rid of it. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. All right, and then I can take that, and then I can sell it too. Where'd it go? There it is. Thanks. Oh, it's supposed to be an emote, but it doesn't really work. Oh, funny. Aaron Bard says, you're very quick with your inventory. Well, this was easy because we've been doing basically level 50 quests, and my character's level 150, so any quest rewards I got were way lower than what I have on, so I knew I could just sell them all. Like, I knew that was easy. That wasn't going to be a problem. Yeah, so Aaron Bard says, takes me forever trying to figure out the best gear. Yeah, when we are questing over in, like, the 150 area now, it takes me a lot longer to go through my stuff because I do spend a lot of time going, well, do I need this? Do I want that? I don't know. Is this good? Is this bad? I don't know. Yeah, so it takes a lot longer. Now, the other trick that I have to dealing with my inventory is I just give everything to B4 and he deals with it. So we have all these like scroll cases. I don't even know what I need or what I don't need. Oh, apparently I still need Elves of Rivendell though, so I'll keep that stuff for now. But I'll keep the scholar stuff because Adamantia makes dyes. I don't know if I need Umbari level stuff though. I don't think there's dyes. Anybody know, are there dyes at Umbari level for scholar? Or does that kind of taper off like in the earlier levels than that? Because I'm guessing there's no new dyes as you get into the higher levels. I'm thinking she might be at the highest level of dye accumulation. But I haven't gone to the wiki to look. I could do that. I know, like that would make sense. But so this is Rosenbloom, so she's not that. But like Honorian, Westmanet, Eastmanet, I don't think there's dyes once you get past like Westfold or so, I think. But if anybody remembers, let me know. Okay, so that's like 2 hours for me. And we've accomplished a lot of what I wanted to accomplish. So, would you be...
I would be interested in prep time.
Yep, okay. So all right, so B4 is going to go and start getting his stuff ready. Funny thing is because I've tilted my stuff here now, because basically I've got my desk set up so I can see out into the backyard, and then I can also like look and see the front window in case there's like anybody coming in or like a package coming or if we're waiting on a guest or something like that. So you might be able to see B4 behind me now, just like you could see me behind him previously because the kitchen is that way. So when he's streaming, if I'm wanting to go to the kitchen from my desk, I end up behind him. So it's funny. So now we kind of have a little bit of like, you know, me being seen in his stream and him being seen in my stream. Oh yeah, so the Goblin Town. So I'm just going to do some cleaning up here while we finish up, while he goes and gets his stuff ready. So Goblin Town, we found the Warsteadings, Thundergrot, Slave Pens, Golem's Cave, the Great Goblin's Den, the Deep Fires, which we kind of made fun of, and then Eglon Nord. Those are all the things that we found. So we got some Lotra points, we got some marks, we got some virtue experience, and some reputation with the Elves of Rivendell, which apparently I'm not max with them. I was kind of just thinking reputation-wise, where am I at? Oh, Egg Arthur says, I'm not seeing any dyes on my Umbar Scholar. Cool, thank you. Yeah, I think Umbari level stuff I don't need to worry about on my Scholar right now, and I'll just keep giving it all over to B4 and he can sort it out, or hang on to it or whatever. So, oh, Paths of Valor. I wonder if oh no, we didn't attack anything on our level today. So I probably don't have many of those, what's it called? Tokens of heroism. Oh, I have 39. Oh, that's actually a fair amount. Okay, I'm going to pop over and turn some of those in. And thanks to, I forget who it was, might have been Egg Arthur, who mentioned that the closest person through a hunter travel, or personal travel, the closest one of these hardened travelers is actually Thorin's. I was going to, what was I going to? Oh, I was going to the Prancing Pony before, but this guy is like, boom, right here. So I'm still on level 3, so we're not going to touch that. But here's the task, the tokens of heroism.
Stay a moment.
So I pick up this quest, and then I turn it into him because I have enough to do that. And then I'll go ahead and do tier 2. So now, the best return on tokens from him, or heroes marks, whatever, stuff from him, the best return on me giving him stuff and him giving me stuff is on tier 1. And then tier 2 is the second best. And then tier 3 is the third best. So if you can do tier 1 and tier 2, those are the ones you want to do. And then if you still have tier 3, you know, like if you still have enough tokens, you can do tier 3. But always start with the first one if you can, because
Would you do something for me?
then you get the best return on your investment there. So, oh, Aaron Bard says, beautiful LI skin. Let's see, what do I, oh, just the skin in general. Ooh, hey, oh, this isn't very far. I was excited, but now it's just level 3. Speaking of LI, reminds me of the reward track. I'm only up to like level 3 here. Because I want to get to at least level 50, I think. So let's see. Because 25 this time gives you the Coffer of the Curious Slug, which is a cosmetic pet. Okay, whatever. But level 50, this one I'm excited about. It's the Legendary Coffer of the Nautical Housing Collection. And I saw some screenshots from Bull Roarer because it was available there. You could look at it on the test server when that was open. And it's some cool stuff. And I think it could really be like, there's a bunk bed, I believe, if I recall correctly. I was like, oh, that'd be a great for like Hobbit furniture. Like there's some stuff in there that I think would be really cool Hobbit furniture. So I've got to get to 50. So, okay, yeah, so what I was saying before is the festivals, when you do any of the festival quests, they are quests. They're actual, like, normal questing, right? So, like, they show up in your quest log and all of that. And so, like, okay, let me just find this one. Like, so this one, I'm working on a legend, or a epic book quest, right? I'm working my way through the epic storyline with this character. Very slowly, but, you know, we're working on it. So, you see that it's a level 50 quest, and I'm level 150, so that's why it's like grayed out over here. And you see at the bottom it says legendary item experience. Now it doesn't say how much I'm going to get, but I'm a level 150 character, it's a level 50 quest, so it's going to give me just a little bit. If it was I'm a level 150 character and it was a 150 quest, it's going to give me equivalent to my level. So that's why it's really nice to take a character through the festival, because, you know, the wrapper quest that you pick up at the beginning, that gives you LI experience. And then if you go and do, like, you know, do 10 quests, every one of those gives you LI experience. So that's another reason to do, like, the extra things and go, even if you get to 10, go and do more if you have other things to go do, like the horse races or whatever, because they're going to continue to give you that LI experience. Now, here's another interesting thing that we've noticed is, this one. On the LI reward track, as a level 150 character, if I were to consume like one of those legendary item runes, they look like hockey pucks, but they're cracked and stuff. Let me see if I can show you one. And LI stuff. Yeah, these like decorated heritage runes of learning. So it's like a circle looking thing with like cracks and stuff on it. So, and it says a stored wealth of 31,000 item experience points. So if I, as a level 150 character, consume that, it makes my bar go like a teeny bit. But if I take like a level 70 character, it will make that bar go further, because that 31,000 experience means more to a lower level character than it does to a higher level character. So I have another character on here that I play a lot, or used to play a lot, and that's Adamantia. And she's at like level 90 something. But I'm thinking about getting her a Stone of the Tortoise, and that way when I run her through Festival, she'll get legendary item experience at that level 90 whatever. And then I need to look at my other characters, because I know I have an elf, and I think she's like 56. And so I might use her and then put a tortoise stone on her to go through the festival. And then also, because your LI reward, your LI experience, reward track experience, it's cumulative for all your characters on that server. So using a lower level character to do things might be kind of useful, as long as they've got their legendary items. They have to have gone through Moria, into the Moria introduction, and have their legendary items. Like they have the quests in order to get those things, are the things, are the prerequisite to earning legendary item reward track experience. So, so that's something. Yeah. So Cool Witch says I hit level 50 this week. Nice, congratulations! I got some redecorating to do in my fishing hole theme, Lindleby home with the cave. Ooh, the the one with the cave is one with the lake inside. I love that one. That is such a cool house. That's a really cool house. Yeah, Sky to Powerlifter says Stone of the Tortoise is such a great item. And it's the only thing I don't like about it is that when you buy it, it's bound to account, but once a character uses it, it's bound to that character from then on, so you can't like pass it around, unlike you can with like these universal toolkits. Like I have the Gundabad toolkit, which is a version of the universal toolkit, and yeah, it makes me wish that I could like pass that around too. Like I can pass the toolkit around, but I can't pass around a Tortoise Stone. So that's like, that's a bummer. So you have to buy one for each character, but I get it's only like 99 Lotra points, so I guess that's not terrible, right? Like, okay, fine, I can do that. Obviously, I don't need it for this character. She's 150. So anyway, so yeah, before the festival starts, I probably want to take in a inventory of my characters here and see who all's going to run through it, because I started a river hobbit, but she didn't get very far. So I think the elf has been through and gotten her allies. So if that's the case, and she's not too high level, like if she's still in her 50s or 60s maybe, I might just get the Tortoise Stone for her and run her through the festival every day. So that way I'm getting that ally experience on the track, because that will help get me toward 50. Oh, I was going to show you what the other things are. So let's see, we saw 25, we saw 50, 75, I think was another tome. Yeah, it's the Vivid Green Snake, another cosmetic pet. I don't know who was in the what like the mindset of who was coming up with these pets, but not really my jam. But I'm more into the cute and cuddly for my hobbits, not the like scary and creepy or off kilter or whatever, however you want to put it. But whatever. And then last thing at level 100 is Legendary Coffer of the Dagorlad portrait frame, which looks like it's got some purples and something white and shiny or creamy and shiny, and looks kind of cool. I still have my Christmas one on, don't I? My Yule one. Maybe I should change that up now that I think about it. Custom character portrait. We could do, yeah, I've got the Yule Festival frame on. That's the Adventure Seekers frame. Nah. Blaze of Hope is really pretty, but it's kind of like blue and like kind of sparkly stuff. Oh, Egg Arthur says the Daggerlad frame is per character, by the way, as opposed to the Lobster frame. The Lobster frame, which was account wide. Okay, well, that's okay because I'm not that excited about it, I guess. But yeah, like the potato one, man, I love that potato frame, and that one was one character alone. Like, I mean, it just made me sad. Oh, Midsummer portrait. Ooh, I do like the Midsummer one. It's all flowery. That's always a good one for these characters. My hobbits are very much into the flowery stuff, so that works pretty good. Let's see if there's any other ones. That's the Midsummer frame. Tournament Heroes frame. It's okay. It's very metallic. Heart of the Mountain. The Heart of the Mountain frame. It looks like stained glass to me. It's just so pretty. I think I'll just go with that one. I think I might keep that one. Let's take a look at what else there is, just to be sure. Bookrush, Rakish Charmer, Riverfolk. What's the Riverfolk one again? What is? Oh, there it is. Oh, that's cute. It's kind of like little waves-ish. I think. Oh, and Swashbuckler. Nope. Bunch of rivets. Fleet Merchant, different rivets. Tidebreaker. Looks like one of those portholes that you open up and look out. I don't think I want that one. I think I'm just gonna go back to Heart of the Mountain because that one's really pretty. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Where did that one come? I want to say that one came from Legendary server. Is that correct? Am I recalling correctly? I want to say that you got that from getting up to like level 90 or 110 or something like that on a Legendary server, because I seem to recall that I had to get to that level before Anor closed down. We worked specifically to try and get to a particular level. But Pomel asks, is it account wide? Yes, I do recall that it was account-wide. Oh, Aaron Bard's got to go. Have a great week, all. Thanks, Little Redhead. You're welcome, Aaron Bard. Have a good week as well. Yes, the Heart of the Mountain frame. You know what? I could probably look that up real quick. Solotro Heart of the Mountain frame. There's a page that has a lot of the frames listed for legendary items, I think. Yes, it's only available on Legendary server. It's you have to complete a deed, which is basically getting to 115. So yes, you have to get to level 115. That's where it is. On a Legendary server. Yes, specifically on a Legendary server. I was gonna say, I thought I saw. Can I just get pictures? Is it titles? No. Well, no, I can't remember where it is, but there was a page somewhere on the wiki that has, like, I think all of the portrait frames. Let me see. Portrait frame. I thought it was just the legendary ones, but oh, maybe it's everybody's. Scroll down. Oh yeah. Okay. So here. Oh, is that the same one? Character portrait frames. A. Arthur's way faster than me. Thanks, A. Arthur. So yeah, if you scroll down towards the bottom, you've got like the different things that are specific, like War of the Three Peaks, Blood of Azog, Gundabad, Corsairs, legendary item reward track frames. So that's the Labsta one, the Ukrash, and then the Daggerlad Wastes frame, which is, oh, it's mushrooms. Okay, that makes sense. The little creamy, lighting up-y kind of looking things. Let's see, promotional frames. That's a nice way to put that. Tournament of the Twins. Legendary server frames. There we go. And then all of these frames can only be obtained on the legendary servers. Most of these frames are rewarded to all characters on your account upon receiving the frame. Some frames, however, are only granted to one character. There's one that you have to buy with tokens in Moria. There's like, so on legendary servers, they did a thing where there's a quest called like Legendary Moria, Legendary Angmar, and the next one, Legendary Mirkwood, I think it was. Is that right? Yeah, I think so. And in each of those situations, there's like some quest giver plopped in the middle of that zone, and you pick it up, and it's like a laundry list of usually a bunch of instances that are in that expansion, in that, you know, in that zone. And so it's like, you know, of these 16, go complete 10. And then once you do, you get legendary Angmar tokens or legendary Moria tokens. And they're only available on the legendary servers. And then you go back to that quest giver who's also the quartermaster, and from them you can buy, it's only a small handful of things. I mean, it really is like, you know, the amount of stuff that you could get from like Burt Bartleby. Like, it's not a huge amount of stuff. But one of them is like, there's a cloak that you can only get, that version. Like, there's a cloak that you get, and from the, I think it's Legendary Moria one, there's like a hooded version that you can get. But it's specific, yeah, it's just that server, but you can put it in your wardrobes, then any of your characters can use it. But yeah, there's a frame that you can buy with those tokens, and it's only for that character. But those other ones where you reach a certain level and get a bonus, like a frame, I'm pretty sure those are all account wide. So now, see, you just need to come over and play on Treebeard. Get to 115, which you can't yet, because we're at level 95 right now as our cap over on Treebeard. But you know what? They did talk about maybe making there was something about legendary server for this year. So there might be, like, who knows what they're going to do. Like, will it be another speedy one like they did with Shadowfax? Or will it be another tournament one like they did with the Tournament of the Twins back in 2020? Or will it be another one like a slow progression server like we have going on Treebeard? Like, who knows what they're going to do? I'm curious to see, you know. So, anyway, yeah, so Pamela says the Daggerlad frame with the mushrooms looks particularly hobbity. Yeah, I would agree with that. That was kind of cool once I got a good look at it. I guess my stuff, I've got my, all my UI elements kind of small to make it easier, because I want to see the picture in front of me instead of seeing all my little UI elements. Cool, thank you. So I've got it, you know, like, yeah, my portrait frame's kind of small up there, so I can't really get a good look at it. Go to the wiki to get a good look, right? Let's see. Agartha says, I got as far as the frame of the dwarf holds on Shadowfax, but missed out on the Minas Morgul frame. Server closed. Aww. Well, I mean, you'll have another chance at some point, if you think about it, because on Treebeard, let's see, Minas Morgul frame. Is that the one you said you missed out on? Yeah. So what is that, like 130? Here, I'll just look. No, 115 was the Heart of the Mountain frame. So the Minas Morgul frame is Survey of the Dwarflands, which is 130. So you have to get to 130 on Treebeard, which my guess was, let's see. Oh, we don't have it. I don't have it here. I have it in our Discord. Yeah, a couple years. So let's see. We're at Helm's Deep now. We know we're going up to Gondor and Old Anorian at the end of May, which is level 100. Yeah, 2026. Well, it is about every other. Yeah, it's like twice a year we go up, right? So, Treebeard's going up to 100 at the end of May, and then up to 105 at the beginning of December. Which means, what's the next one? So that's Far Anorian and the Wastes. You know, I have this because I was like, I kind of wanted to plot it out for myself. You know, I was just kind of curious. I think it's in my quick bean query. Yeah. So I estimated a June, December release flip-flop, right? And they've kind of scooted it back to like every 5 months instead of every 6 months. But let's just leave it at my original estimations, right? So let's see, I had us coming into 100 in June 2024. It's going to be May. Okay. Anyway, so getting to 130 would be June of 2026. Yes. Or May. Or maybe by then in April, if they keep winding it back by a month, you know, a couple weeks every release, something like that. So there you go, Arthur. So 2026, just come on over to Treebeard. Come hang out. Get your frame. I'm sure you'll find it no trouble getting up to 130 levels on a server where you get 40% of the average experience. However, I would say even still on Treebeard, like I feel like we get experience too fast. Partially because we are doing the difficulty thing, and unfortunately, the decision was made that you get plus 20% experience gain on monster kills with the difficulty. So we're getting extra experience that we didn't want. So that's kind of weird. And then sometimes, especially when you get started, like the best gear for the earring slot are those earrings that you get from the elves at the beginning, like this Earring of the Dead City. I guess this one is up to 120, but it's like, it's got a little bit of everything. It's got might, agility, will, vitality, critical rating, fate, you know, that sort of thing. And they give extra experience up to, you know, certain levels. So that is one way to kind of like zoom along, which is really funny. Oh, well, you're already up to the 70s, so more than halfway there, and not living on a prayer. Whoa, we're halfway there. Well, speaking of being there or not there, it looks like B4 is there and ready to go. So I'm going to wrap us up here. Like that transition. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. I don't know why this, like, yeah, I'm on the front page of the local paper this week, which is like so bizarro. Speaking of like, of our village paper. So yes, I have to try to like be on when I'm in public, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Probably not. I'll just be me. Don't worry about it. All right. So I'm gonna head out, and next week, what? Are we in the festival yet or not? I don't know what day of the week anything is anymore. It starts on a Tuesday, the 12th. So that means that if it usually starts at like 10 a.m. server time, it should be on by the time we're on, right? Yay! The day LRH had to invent a public persona. It's really, my public persona is very similar to my Lotro one, which is very similar to my non-public persona. I don't make a good liar. There's just too much to remember. Sandy says, thanks for the stream. Well, thank you, everybody, for coming by. This was a fun day. Thanks for listening to my stories. And I'm glad the cats made their short appearances, made their guest appearances when they did. So, all right, everybody. Stay connected to that Hobbit side of your heart through this week. Enjoy whatever the lovely weather hopefully brings you. No more heart attacks if you can. And I will see you next week. And stick around for B4 and his plugging along stream. All right. Bye, everybody.